Say what you will about whether Jaws 2 should have been made, at least they got a famous tagline out of it, just when you thought it was safe to get back in the water. I feel safe. At least Amity probably has a different mayor now. What? How did Vaughn get reelected? I'm guessing mafia connections. Naturally, after 1975's Jaws single-handedly invented the summer beach season, the studio was dead set on there being a Jaws 2, and this 1978 sequel has things in common with the first. There's sharks, there's the Brodies, and it was another troubled production. Spielberg had zero interest in doing any sequels at the time, and didn't really want to shoot out in the sea again, but he did consider it for a second if it was based on the Indianapolis speech. Ultimately, he was too tied up with Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is also why Dreyfuss didn't come back. Even the co-writer, Howard Sackler, who did uncredited work on the first, proposed the prequel idea, but it was rejected. At first, directing duties went to John D. Hancock of Bang the Drum Slowly, who envisioned a much darker tone for the film, namely that Amity would now be a near boarded-up ghost town, and yes, a mafia subplot. But once he was fired due to producers being unhappy with the footage and him not taking their notes, and them wanting a more lighthearted, teen-oriented tone, Janosch Fark took over, who, like Spielberg, had also worked on Night Gallery in the past. Then the savior Carl Gottlieb eventually came back too to do a heavy rewrite, like he did with the first, and he got paid much more to come back for the rewrite than the little amount they offered when it was greenlit. There were tensions on set, echoing the feud of Shaw and Dreyfuss, where here the main clashes came between the director and Roy Scheider, including a physical fight and a meeting for the two to settle their differences. There were more problems with the mechanical sharks, which had to be rebuilt after the original mechanical sharks rusted. And not only did hurricane warnings interfere here, but also real sharks showing up demanding to be extras, obviously. At least we got some sweet merchandising, though. Who wants a Jaws 2 towel? As you can see, this is going to be nothing like the first. See, that's much more heavenly music playing this time. The only danger that's gonna happen in Jaws 2 is too big of a suntan on the beach. Until that John Williams score gets more sinister. Oh my god, the shark is broken up into several tinier fish. The callbacks are starting early. They found the sunken orca on their search to find the legend of Quint's gold. Lots of things happened to the orca since it sank in '75. It's a different color now, and it seems to be slightly more intact than it was when it sank. And oh shit, the ghost of Quint is back and he is pissed and hungry. Sheriff Brody is now the greatest shark cop in the country. He'll be there. Just park right next to the camera shadow. This still has the involvement of Joe Alves, who offered to co-direct along with editor Verna Fields, but that was rejected when it would have been a DGA violation. It's got a different cinematographer this time, though. Here it's by Michael C. Butler, later of Cannonball Run and Megaforce. Both movies would have been fantastic with a shark. Roy's just gonna get dressed as he makes his way into the shot. Roy Scheider still gives it his all, even though he didn't want to do the picture. He had a dispute with Universal after he left production of The Deer Hunter, as he was under contract with them, and doing Jaws 2 meant that he could finish out his contract. He's so distracted, he doesn't even realize his kids are now different actors, but he's paying attention to the beauty pageant.
And now, this year's Miss Amity, Tina Wilcox will...
Hands off her, Brody. That's my secretary and she's mine. As first prize for the pageant, here's a tree made of dollar bills. Now dance for us. Why does the whole town need to be here for this? It's because the pool is the only body of water they feel safe around, unless you're scared of balloons. There's elements of the deleted mafia plot in this. Joseph Mescolo plays developer Len Peterson, who was originally supposed to be mafia connected, and you can tell.
Honey, would you be a love? Make sure that the bar is open and everyone is taken care of and happy,
After Hooper was too chicken shit to hit on you, I'll do the job for him. Forget about the characters we came here for. The party's Art Garfunkel impersonator needs another round before he gets back on stage. I don't know, guys. You don't look 70s enough. I'm surprised the movie included live-action versions of Marge Simpson's Prom Date. Wait a minute, Keith Gordon? We'll keep him around if the mechanical shark breaks again and they replace it with a Plymouth Fury. All this time, the characters should really know when to not get in the water. If you're out on your boat in an obvious day for night shot, that means you're gonna get attacked. See, there he is. Already they're showing us a lot more of the shark this time, and unfortunately a lot more of the teenagers. The intent was to basically make a boating culture version of the car culture from films like American Graffiti, where every girl is obviously checking them out.
Tim, did you see the way she was looking at you? I mean, she wants you, man.
What are you talking about? Gosh, she wants my tater tots. The guys are all into the sexy pantsuits.
She got tits like a sparrow.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't understand your sea talk. Don't worry, I'm sure one of these characters will have a riveting monologue akin to the Indianapolis speech. One will talk about how they were so close to beating the Donkey Kong high score until a wolf knocked over his Schlitz beer, causing him to pound 20 more beers, and he couldn't get it up in the back seat of his Pinto at the homecoming carnival. Some things never change, though. Brody's still gonna chain smoke his way through the problems.
Very funny.
Grace Kenny is driving my boy to distraction.
Not now, Ed McMahon. I still don't know any of these young people's names. Why bother? Half of them aren't gonna make it out alive anyway. You felt a sense of sadness and tragedy in the deaths in the first, whereas here I'm like, yeah, get him. I know nothing about this guy, but I'm guessing he's an asshole. It intentionally doesn't go for the Hitchcockian level of suspense like the first, since as the director put it, we already know what the shark looks like. This feels more like a slasher approach. Hell, when the character doesn't die, I'm just annoyed. There's more partying in this, there's more young characters, there's more kills, more of the shark, and let's not forget the twist where Jaws turns out to be Laurie Strode's brother. It is still well shot. That shark has a motor attached to himself. Hook yourself up to the shark and you'll ski just as fast. You'll die either way. Fonzie could have survived that. One of these characters has to be tight with Fonzie. I'm only 20 minutes in and it's shot like the last 20 minutes of the first, only with a character doing something unbelievably stupid. Seems like a good idea. Oops, I've accidentally doused myself with gas. No matter, it'll wash off. I should be good to shoot a flare. Well, we checked off that studio note. Needs more explosions, and early on, too. Also, the shark can go through the rest of the movie with burn marks. He is a slasher villain this time. And you don't need to recap it, I just saw it.
1 minute they were having a wonderful time, and the next...
You can tell me, she did something extremely dumb, didn't she? We needed some kind of breather scene in there. Already the shark has moved on to the police boat to drag it under. Wait, no. They caught some foreshadowing.
What is it?
Drop it! It's a power line!
Oh, terrific.
Let me untangle it!
Is the shark gonna get electrocuted at the end? Now the movie can stop to have a cigarette.
That's your third smoke already.
With coffee.
Try a donut.
Sorry if I'm breathing into your breakfast, son. Remember, if any of them cereal boxes come with a pack of Marlboros, I call dibs. Now I'm off to another day of frolicking. So much frolicking in this one. Isn't there anything else to do on the island? No, we've been chasing each other for 4 hours. Then maybe we could dry hump a little. Figures cock blocked by an orca. Thank God this happened. He's been waiting since 75 to use his newfound shark expertise.
I have had some experience with sharks.
What have you?
Yeah, and I think a great white might have done this.
Sheriff, it's a leftover prop from the movie Orca. We'll bring Richard Harris in for questioning. And the worst part is, it's ruining Mike's date.
Got a date.
She'll understand.
No, she won't. Mike, for Christ's sakes, give me a break here, will you?
Looks like another night of humping whale carcasses for Mike. Let's take a break. That smell is gonna be lingering around here for the rest of the summer.
On the CBS Saturday Night Movies, Orca, the killer whale.
He followed you.
Waging a campaign of vengeance against one man, Richard Harris in Orca.
We're back, and I've been waiting to see what Mayor Vaughn thinks of the new shark.
I think we may have another shark problem.
Are you serious?
Do you realize I had to cheat to win re-election? It's like his whole arc from the previous, where you actually saw the terror and regret in his face when he talks about how his kids were on the beach too, is now all just meaningless because he's back to being the same old asshole. Come on, Sheriff, it could be a boating accident.
So that means we're not going to do anything, huh?
Martin, don't press it this time.
What was that quote from the first? If I ignore the problem, it'll go away and won't bite me in the ass. That's the one. It's impossible to ignore, though, when clues keep washing up to shore. This is a good scene where Brody's fear of the water comes back, and he's obviously remembering his previous fight with a shark, making him a little nervous to get the evidence. There's no lines here, and Scheider is great at subtly showing fear in his face. However, it is still a sequel. So he has to accidentally pull up a dead body to try to top the severed head jump scare from the first. Jaws inspired countless other shark movies, but Jaws 2 appears to have inspired The Exterminator, where he's gonna try out poison-tipped bullets to defeat his enemy, and do it all sexy too, with her shirt open. That's what the notes say. And give the kids something to play with so they don't want to go outside.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, gang.
We're gonna be bored with this in 5 minutes, Dad. Why didn't you buy us Berserk? Now to again explain scenes we just saw where he tells Ellen about the body. We gotta give Ellen something to do. The original director, John Hancock, wanted her to get out into the water for some action scenes, but her husband producer, Sid Sheinberg, was against that. Don't worry, all that will be in part 4. Too bad it's the worst of the series. This one at least feels like it's in the universe of the first, a universe made up of unused B-roll of people at the beach. This just keeps going. For the love of God, someone kick sand in the nerdy guy's face. Everything will be fine. Mayor Vaughn and totally not mafioso Lee are giving a tour. Surely the shark wouldn't want to fuck with this guy again. Even though Vaughn is back to being an ass, it's still great that Murray Hamilton is back in it, an actor who makes everything better. He isn't in it much. He had to do his scenes pretty quick so he could be with his wife who was battling cancer at the time. I like this scene too. It's unintentionally funny that Vaughn doesn't care that his son is in the water while also looking nervous about a shark. And this is a good fake out where Brody spots something that could be a shark, could be the oil slick from Creepshow 2, but in his heightened paranoia, he gets everyone out of the water, charges guns ablazing, and even wildly fires while a kid is barely out of his sight, all for what turns out to be a school of bluefish. This is the scene I remember the most from it, and it's a good idea to put in a sequel, where his crazed paranoia has gotten the best of him, and people don't really trust him now, and it leads to another nice moment with his son, who's the only one there to help his dad. Then it's back to being silly again, where the evidence that he needed is that the scuba divers at the beginning caught a picture of the monster just before being eaten. Holy shit, I knew it. We got a damn piranha. But I do like that it is a bad picture, and not the shark just smiling big into the camera like, "Jeez, now give us a kiss, baby." It's funny when everyone on the city council is using it like a Rorschach test and naming different things that it looks like.
Brody, this is nothing. Seaweed, mud, something in the lens?
Lends my ass.
You're damn right it's your ass.
You sat on the copy machine again, didn't you, Brody? You were warned about this. This meeting would have gone differently if Carl were still around. What happened to Carl? Yes, I know he wrote it, but where did the character go? He must have taken a job helping out the characters from Grizzly. Brody has his own measures. If you don't take me seriously about the shark, I'm telling everyone that's a toupee, and I'm gonna staple it to the door of City Hall. But anyway, in Friday the 13th Part 2, the shark won't eat them. Half their blood is cheap beer.
My dad left a couple of cases of beer in the garage.
Is it still there?
Well, it's kind of vacationing on my boat.
Which of you girls wants to get thrown overboard tonight? Go for it, dude. Disobey your dad and go out. Donna Wilkes is hitting on you. She knows what to do. She was Angel. It's frustrating when it cuts to these characters because I just want to get back to Brody. Not only did they not believe him about the shark, they also freaking fired him. Scheider's great here, where he's clearly pissed, but the booze is masking it with a good old singing and dancing party mood. I like his line, too, about having never been fired before. Look at the bright side, they'll clearly hire you back when the shark turns out to be real. Now let's take another break so you can sleep this off. Let the Jack Daniels do its magic. Want a birthday shout out or a nice message or ask a question? Book us now on our Cameo page at cameo.com/the Cinema Snob. We're back and oh god, it's so hungover. Please stop with the racket. It's okay, I fought a shark while drunk before, then swam back to shore hungover. I can do this. Just give me some peace for a minute. Your hair looks fine, Mike. It was right for you to ask the barber for the Greg Brady. And since we don't really care if Mike gets eaten, sure, take your younger brother with you. They've already replaced him once in the movie. In the John Hancock scenes, Shaun was originally played by Ricky Schroeder. My god, this is like the first one if half the movie followed the kids at the bonfire. Speaking of, whatever happened to this guy? I'm guessing he moved and opened up a bed and breakfast with Mrs. Kintner. They do a good job of making it look like summer, given it was mostly shot in the fall and winter. Actors even had to suck on ice cubes to keep their breath from being shown on camera. So many scenes are random. Who are these people? What do I care about the scuba diving class? Is this the movie, or did I sit on the remote again and now Thunderball is on? I care more about the pot roast from the first one than I do all these side characters. You know why they're here. You can't see my burn marks, can you? I'm very self-conscious about my face now. Oh, thank God he's gone. Also, frickin' look behind you. He'll be gone before you know it. He has a strong chance of winning this boat race. At least Brody can finally sleep in before having his post-shower cigarette. I'm gonna assume he was smoking that thing while in the shower. At least he confines his drinking to just one spot. Sorry, honey. You know when I get depressed, I just stand right outside the car and have 12 beers. Meanwhile, as Disco Stu continues his makeout party in the middle of the ocean...
Wait a minute.
Make sure the cups are placed in the right spot. You know branding turns me on. Relax, Eddie, relax. Just use your hair as a flotation device. The shark won't eat you and risk the biggest hairball of his life. That's what you think. The blonde is mine. Okay, that was kind of awesome. The shark realized if he knocks his prey out on the boat, he'll be easier to swallow. Brody will spring into action when he finds out his son disobeyed his orders to stay out of the water.
What kids?
Oh, Junior Vaughn, Brookie Peters, Jackie, Mike, Andy.
Our Mike?
Thank Christ. Here, let's have a nice picnic at sea. We don't have to put up with Mike's shit anymore. While it's nice Ellen tags along for a little bit, I sure wish Hooper was around. Where the hell is he?
Matt Hooper. 5 points. He's on the research vessel Aurora, presently in the Arctic Ocean, and he won't be in radio range till next spring.
Oh, well, that explains that, I guess. And I'll give Tina this. I may not know much about the character, but Ann Dusenberry delivers the hell out of this line. Jesus, did the director really terrorize her with a shark? And Keith Gordon is making the most of his lines, too.
This will be our final hour.
Your boat just took a shot at you. And the shark has teleported once more to wherever the script needs him to be. I love that Jaws is just using the boats to destroy one another.
Timmy Brook!
You're all gonna get yourselves killed, you freaking idiots! Look at him, now is not the time to nap, Mike. And I know he's not gonna die, just pull him up. You just take him to wherever he can continue to be useless. We'll survive out here. Here, Gilda Radner, tie up this rope. Hurry, rescue the kids, Brody. As you can see, they're terrified.
Anybody want to play charades?
You'll be gripping your seat in the unending suspense of Jaws 2. And wait, I do know that hair. You're not a teenager, you were in Dog Day Afternoon. This part is pretty cool, though, and is one of the more memorable set pieces from it. The backstory of the helicopter scene comes from when Carl Gottlieb was in MASH, where there was a helicopter accident on set, and while there were no fatalities, the image stuck with him, especially with the propellers flying everywhere, so he worked a helicopter crash into Jaws 2 for a scene that would be ripped off in many Italian Jaws knockoffs to come. Speaking of, I'm sure I can find another shark movie trailer around here somewhere to show for the commercial break.
Now, enter an underwater world of terror and suspense as you face the Jaws of Death. Filmed without the benefit of cages, mechanical sharks, or other protective devices that thrust you into the Jaws of Death.
We're back, and I'm gonna see these idiots being knocked into the water for the remainder of the runtime, aren't I? You know, if that's the case, I can live with that. There are actually supposed to be more death scenes than what's shown, and in fact, there were alternate scenes with some characters living and then dying, in case they needed to switch the scenes out to secure a PG rating. See, even God wants them dead. I've got a hurricane up my sleeve that I can send down for these morons. Even when one gets rescued, someone still has to fall into the water from slipping on a banana peel. But how's the other boat doing?
Cable junction's ahead.
Thanks, Ringo! I want to hang out on this boat. It's way more rockin'. Look, now he's kicking Mike Nesmith's ass. That ain't nothing compared to the ass-kicking Mike's gonna get when his father sees him.
Shaun's out there.
What? Shaun is my favorite son, you piece of shit! There's more yelling in the climax than anything else. The first half had frolicking, this half has yells. Lots of yelling. Either yelling angrily or cheering when Brody's gonna ride up and flick a cigarette at them and just leave. He's got my vote for sheriff. And watch this. Did the shark just yell? God damn it, Dad, you just pulled a total Mike and crashed the boat! Useless! Jaws 2 is all kinds of okay. It was met with mixed reviews upon release, calling it what it is, which is just a mediocre version of the first. Reviews softened over time due to its comparison to Jaws 3D and Jaws the Revenge, which got way worse reviews. At least this one looks like it's trying to have the look of the first. But despite the mixed response, it paid off well at the box office, helped of course by the huge marketing campaign, where there were trading cards, cups, coloring books, toys, and it was the most expensive movie from Universal at the time. It briefly held the record for the most successful sequel until Rocky II 1 year later. There are good things about it. The set pieces are entertaining, and Brody easily carries the film. The little bits we see of his paranoia is a nice touch, and there should have been more of that. because as a whole, it's a very disjointed film. There's far, far too many characters, so Brody pretty much has to carry it because he's the only one we care about. The movie doesn't feel like an ensemble, it feels like two different movies going on, from a compelling Brody story to then a very wooden teen horror film, without much flow when it cuts back and forth between these plots. But it's worth it to see Brody electrocute the sucker. What one-liner do I say now? Open line! Say ah didn't catch on quite as much as smile you son of a bitch. Maybe because it's overshadowed by the hilarious editing of the shark getting fried. That's a spicy meatball! I'll be back in 1983. At least they get to paddle their way back this time. I ever tell you about when Matt and I had to swim back? Every damn day, Dad. But if your complaint about Jaws 2 was that the shark didn't look enough like a loaf of bread breaking through glass in the third dimension, well, you're gonna love the next entry.
The terror of Jaws will not stop at the edge of the screen. The all-new Jaws 3D. The third dimension is terror, rated PG.